Alright, thanks for watching, and I'm sure you've been dying to know the solution of the problem I posted a couple of days ago. So I think I posted on October 2nd, 2019, in case you're watching from the future. And it's a typical game a la black pen, red pen, which is called two truths, one lie, which means I give three statements, two of them are true, and one of them is false. And you have to figure out which one is true and which one is false. So the first one is game a la Goethe, where I give those three statements, namely 0 equals 0, the next statement is true, and the previous statement is false. And you have to guess which is which. Well, unfortunately, on this planet, this problem has no solution. Because you see, 0 equals 0, well, that's always true by equality, definition of equality. X always has to equal X. It's called reflexivity. So this one we already know it's true. So we just have to figure out which one is true, which one is false. And this one says the next statement is true. So statement C is true. The other one says the previous statement is false. So statement B is false. And the problem is, those two are neither true or false. Because look, if B is true, it says that statement C is true by definition. But then, this says the previous statement is false, which means B is actually false, which contradicts the assumption that B is true. On the other hand, if B is false, then it means it is not true that C is true. So C is false, which means it's a lie that B is false. So B is not false. So it is true, which contradicts our assumption that this is false. And similarly, you can have a similar reasoning for C, and you find another contradiction. So that's one of the famous puzzles in logic, which also means we have to watch our language. So we have to watch out what is true and what is false. So again, that was a very mathematical and paradoxical way of saying this. Now, on a more personal level, here are actually three statements, and I promise you, two of them are true and one of them is a lie. So the first one is that I failed kindergarten. Really surprising because I somehow made it, if it's true. Second one, I've had 4 bunnies so far, which makes sense. I love bunnies, they're fluffy, and there's at least Oreo, so maybe I had 3 other bunnies, or maybe not. And finally, I never took Calculus 2, which again would be surprising because if I didn't take it, how in the world would I have a PhD in math? And in particular, does that mean Calculus 2 is not necessary? Well, drum roll, da-da-dum. So, statement A is true. In fact, I did fail kindergarten in some sense. Well, it's not that I couldn't count or anything, but what happened was I used to go to an Austrian kindergarten where you would speak German, but my parents' plan, and also I always wanted to go to the French school in Vienna because it's really good, super famous, and the problem is, well, I couldn't just switch from a German kindergarten to a French school because I didn't know any French. Oh la la, sacre bleu. Well, and that's why I had to repeat a year of kindergarten, but this time doing it in French. But it's okay, it was fun. And also, that's why technically I'm always like a year behind my classmates. I'm always a year behind my age. On the other hand, what was kind of cool, my Chinese zodiac sign is a bunny. And because of this, I wasn't with a bunch of bunnies, but I was with dragons, which is amazing. I felt like this cool bunny friend surrounded by dragons. Okay, so this, as I said, is true. Now B, well, I had 4 bunnies so far. Well, actually that is the lie. So it turns out I had 5 bunnies so far. I know, I'm so sneaky. Yes, so I had one growing up. His name was Hasi, and it means bunny in German. And then Hasi, after a while, we bought him another bunny called Lady. And then, unfortunately, Lady passed away pretty quickly, so we got him another bunny called Jilly, really cute. And then Hazi passed away, and eventually Jilly passed away. And so for a long time I didn't have any bunnies. And then I bought 2 bunnies, Oreo and Cookie. So Cookie was Oreo's sister, but unfortunately she passed away as well. But Oreo is still staying strong, so 5.5 years old, which is pretty good in bunny years. It's like 55 years old. And lastly, well, since it's 2 truths, 1 lie, this last statement is also true. In fact, I never took Calculus 2, which shows, in my opinion, how useless it is. But again, that's semi-true, because so I went to a French school, and the way they teach, 11th and 12th grade is we're not doing a whole year of calculus and then another year of calculus. They usually mix up the topics a little bit. So in 11th grade, I did a little bit of derivatives, then I did geometry with, I think, center of mass, barycentre, in case you're French, and a bit of other like plane geometry, and I don't remember, dot products or something. And then in 12th grade, you also do a little bit of calculus, so definition of an integral, and then integration by parts. But we stopped there. But on the other hand, we did some other cool things like parametric equations of lines and then complex numbers and other fun stuff. And of course, lots of proofs. So we learned induction also, which I think was super helpful because later in math, maybe people struggled with discrete math, but I didn't have such a big problem. On the other hand, the only issue is there was no Taylor series or like no ODEs or anything, so I never really learned that thing in a class, but I did read some books on it, and then basically in Berkeley I just started with multivariable calculus and linear algebra and discrete math and a Putnam class, and a math freshman seminar, so I was very excited about math at that time, and I still am, and I hope you are too. So that concludes the 2 truths, 1 lie. So congrats to those who guessed correctly, and in fact I know there was someone he guessed it with the right reasons. He was like, maybe he has more bunnies. Alright, so if you like this and want to see more math, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.